Hi everyone, I'm Josh, and I'm an Executive Vice President and Creative Director at Texas Creative. We are a full-service creative agency located in San Antonio, Texas. Today, I'd like to show you a quick demonstration on how to use the Recolor Artwork feature in Adobe Illustrator. This is a very powerful tool in Illustrator that can swap out existing colors in a piece of artwork with other colors that you specify, or using your own set of specific parameters, or even with color theory help from AI. AI in this case meaning Adobe Illustrator. This is a method I took advantage of to help me through the process of creating a boot pattern that our agency used on custom wrapping paper for the 2019 holiday season. First, I created an arrangement of boot silhouette shapes, but I didn't want to use the pattern tool in Illustrator to extrapolate the artwork across the required 36-inch wide by 30-inch tall artboard that I had to create, because I wanted to have a variety of boot colors in the design. I also didn't want to manually click on every boot shape in this design and assign each a color myself, so I turned to Illustrator's Recolor Artwork feature and used a workflow like the one we're about to go through. Your first step should be to determine the size of your final artwork. For this example, I'm aiming for a final size of 10 inches by 10 inches, so I've created an artboard that size over here on the right. I'm going to divide that 10-inch by 10-inch artboard into 4 equal quadrants. I've added 4 different 4.93 by 4.93 inch artboards over here on the left of my document, which is where I'll create each of my 4 quadrants that I'll bring together for the finished 10 by 10 inch piece of art. I made these artboard quadrants a little smaller than 5 inches by 5 inches to allow me to align shapes to the edge of the artboard and provide for even spacing between each quadrant once I bring them together later on and not have elements touch or overlap. So let's start with the first of our 4 artboard quadrants. I'm going to draw a rectangle and then duplicate it and position it in a number of different sizes and proportions on this artboard. To speed things along on this tutorial, I've already done that and I have it in my pasteboard, so I'll paste this pattern of rectangles that I've created in place here. Now these rectangles can of course be any shape you choose, from circles to stars, from birds to boots. They're just representative for this tutorial. So next, let's assign some colors. You'll first want to make sure you've cleared Illustrator's standard palette of colors so you can fill this palette with only the colors that you need. If you haven't done that already, just choose Select All Unused from the Swatches flyout panel, and all unused swatches will be selected and you can easily delete them from this panel. I've pre-made an ASE color swatch file that I'll load up for convenience, but you can add colors however you see fit. Next, I'll start assigning colors to each of my rectangles from this palette of colors. And the idea here is just to spread the colors out nice and evenly, not have the same colors butt together very often, if ever, and just to kind of create a pleasing mixture of colors from my palette. Okay, with the first of our 4 quadrants finished, let's copy our rectangles from the first quadrant and paste in place down here on our artboard for the second quadrant. I'll reflect the artwork to create variety in this pattern of rectangles. And with that done, basically we're staring at the process of assigning all of these colors to these shapes and trying to make sure the color assignments look fairly random and varied throughout each of these 4 quadrants that I'm creating. That could be pretty tedious, so that's where Illustrator's Recolor Artwork feature will make our lives much easier. Let's lock the rectangles on the first artboard quadrant so they are not affected by our recoloring. We want to preserve these colors on this artboard. Do this by selecting the shapes on the first artboard and select Object, Lock, and Selection. Then select the second artboard shapes and choose Edit, Edit Colors, and Recolor Artwork. There are a lot of options to explore in the Recolor Artwork interface. You can choose for yourself which color should be swapped for which using this interface, and there are other options as well that are really worth your time to explore and play with, including options for converting colors in a selected group of objects to 1, 2, or 3 color artwork. For our purposes though, we just want all colors to be randomly replaced with other colors, and we want all the colors being used to be limited to and include all of the color swatches from our document. And that's exactly what this button does. You can preview the changes each time you click this button to randomize the colors and stop when you're satisfied. So with that done to our second artboard quadrant, we're just going to repeat the same process to create 2 more quadrants of reflected or rotated and recolored artwork. As a final step, we're ready to assemble our 10-inch by 10-inch artboard using each of the 4 quadrants that we just created. First, you'll want to select Object, Unlock All to unlock all of this artwork, and then just simply move each quadrant into position and align it as you see fit. So, envisioning our rather unimaginative rectangles as any other shape, you can see how using Illustrator's Recolor Artwork feature could save you plenty of time creating patterns that include a variety of colors that are randomly assigned. I'll switch over to this other Illustrator document for you so you can see how I assembled that boots pattern that you saw earlier in a similar workflow. I hope you found this video to be useful, and if you have other ways that you've utilized Illustrator's Recolor Artwork tool, I hope you'll take a moment and share them with us in the comments below. And if you'd like to learn more about Texas Creative, just head over to our website. You can find us at texascreative.com. Thanks for watching.